Welcome back to the Infinity Travel AZ Studios. We have Caitlin with us again today, and she's going to talk to us about luxury gold vacations, which is part of Insight Vacations. How are
Yeah,
you,
hi.
Caitlin?
Good morning, Cindy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
I'm excited to hear a little more about luxury gold.
Yeah, I'm so excited to share with you and your guest about luxury gold. It's not necessarily a household name. Not a lot of folks have heard of luxury gold before, so I'm really excited to be talking more about it because as somebody who's had the opportunity to travel on a luxury gold journey, it was absolutely incredible. And so, I get really excited to talk about it. So I'm really excited to share a little bit more about the brand with your guest.
Sounds great. Go right ahead. We're ready.
Yeah, awesome. Well, with luxury gold, like I said, it's not necessarily a household name. Not a lot of folks have heard of luxury gold before. So I thought it would be important today to just kind of, go back to basics. Let's talk about who is luxury gold, what do we do, and what can you expect when you travel on a luxury gold. And I've kind of finish up with some of our top journeys. So I thought this would be kind of fun for
Okay.
everybody who's watching to kind of see what we all have to offer, because we like to say that your journey beyond the ordinary awaits with luxury gold, because everything that you get to experience is so far surpasses expectations. It really is something fantastic. So I know in the past we talked about Insight Vacations, we've talked about Uniworld. I thought that this would be a really great opportunity to kind of go back and tie luxury gold back to our other brands, because we have a mantra, a way of being at luxury gold, where we like to say no request is too large and no detail is too small. And that's really the mentality behind all of our luxury brands over here at the Travel Corporation, with Uniworld, with Insight Vacations, Red Carnation Hotels. We started in hospitality, and that in service was where we began 100 years ago. So that is at the core of what we have to offer. And that's absolutely what your guests can expect when they travel with us. So it's really something fantastic, because we know luxury travel isn't necessarily about all the bells and whistles. It's about experiences. It's about, you be able to ask for something once and not have to ask for it again, that type of thing. So it's all about experiences, and I think that is at the core of what we have to offer at Luxury Gold. That's so different, because we are a guided vacation brand. So we're not cruising, we're not hotels, we're not like anything like that. We travel on land via vehicle to different hotels, to different cities. And it's anything but your ordinary, kind of guided vacation. We like to call it a journey, because it really is a journey where you get to meet incredible people and experience incredible things. So the first thing I always talk about is our exclusive VIP experiences. So with Luxury Gold, we go above and beyond anything that you could imagine, as far as what we offer for our guests and activities that you can do. We have over 100 years of experience and relationships. It's all about relationships with, these different companies that you're looking for. And we've been around for 100 years. So we've met a lot of people. We know a lot of people. And we introduce our guests to some really spectacular individuals. We get to have access to places that nobody else gets to go to. And I think that it's so important as well when you're trying to figure out which vacation you want to do, maybe which brand you're wanting to go with, which company. And you say, well, which one am I going to have like the most incredible experience with, right? Which one am I going to be able to do something that I can't do with another brand? And that's where Luxury Gold comes into play, because with our exclusive VIP experiences, we really knock it out of the park, and it's something so fantastic. So I always talk about one of the examples is after hours experience at the Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna. And this is one of the coolest places I've ever been. Have you been to the Schönbrunn Palace
I
before?
have not yet.
Yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Schönbrunn is incredible. It's where the Habsburg family once lived. It is just stunning. I remember going there once during the Christmas markets. And so it was December and it was all decked out. And I just remember, driving up and stepping out of the car and just going, this looks like a movie set. This doesn't look real. Like, it was so pristine and so beautiful from the outside. But the one thing I noticed was the insanely long line to get into the Schönbrunn itself. If you think about the Vatican when you go to Rome, the Schönbrunn is that to Vienna. It really is something. Buckingham Palace in London, the Schönbrunn is that to Vienna. And it is just incredible, and the beauty that it has. But when you travel with Luxury Gold, we don't wait in line. We don't wait with the crowds. We don't mess around with any of that. We actually go there completely after hours once it's closed to the day, for the day rather. And it's completely private. We have a private guide that takes us around. We have access to the palace that, you just can't go to when you're with other people or when you're going on your own. And so it's just this incredible experience as you're walking around. You get actually like up close with the artwork, with the beautiful architecture, and you can wander. And it's so quiet because it's just your group, right? It's your small group of travelers, and you're walking around and you're going, wow, this is such a pinch me moment. Because you're not fighting crowds. You're not going, oh, excuse me. You're not having to stand back and wait until the person in front of you is done looking at something for you to, do that little museum move that you always do, the dance. So, it's just so incredible to be able to do something like this on your own. And I love that we do that. And we do a lot of after hours experiences with Luxury Gold. And I think that that's important just in general to, going back to the whole VIP experience. You're not getting up super early. You're not having to wake up at the crack of dawn to do all these things. That you have private guides that are going to show you around once the crowds go home for the day, and it's just exclusive to you. The other one that I like to talk about is also in Egypt, just because I'm a homer for Egypt. I love Egypt. It's one of my more recent trips that I've taken. And the Luxor Temple after hours visit is absolutely incredible. I mean, when you go to Egypt, there's, especially at Luxor, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people walking around the temple grounds as well. But being able to go here after hours, like once it's closed, and all of the columns, all the statues are all lit up at night, and you see all the hieroglyphics just illuminated. It's just, I can't begin to tell you how incredible this experience is. It's one of those, bucket list places as it is. But being able to do this just completely exclusive VIP, where you're the only ones there, like, when does that ever happen? Like, I'm in Egypt and I get to see Luxor privately. Like, who am I, the queen?
Yeah, exactly. It's like magic.
Yeah, it really is. And it's such a magical, I love that word magic, because Egypt in itself is such a magical place to begin with, because you read about it, you hear about it all the time, but you don't get the opportunity to actually see it. So being able to get up close with all of this history is just such a pinch me moment. And also, as people are starting to get back into traveling again after this crazy year of, COVID, everything, I think it's really important also that we have these VIP experiences where you're not necessarily around a ton of other people, these massive crowds. I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit more leery about those types of things and places. So being able to do all of this, after hours, I think is something pretty cool. So with Luxury Gold, all of our experiences are included. And so I think that that is something really important. You're not going to have to pay out of pocket for this one and this one and this one. Everything is already included. So you just decide which activity you want to do, and you just show up and we'll take you there. So it's pretty fantastic.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And with Luxury Gold too, we also up the ante with the people that we get to meet. We have what we call the Chairman's Collection on select trips and select departure dates. But with the Chairman's Collection, these are some of the most spectacular experiences that you can probably ever get the opportunity to do. So our founder, Mr. Tolman, he's our chairman of the board. And so this is why this is our homage to him, the chairman's collection, because these are his own personal friends and colleagues that he's met, in his many, many years of life. And it's just so fantastic that these are people that don't even work in travel. These are people that are just distinguished individuals in their respective countries. And so we have the opportunity to meet just absolutely legendary local people who are actually part of the heritage of the destination that you're traveling to. So I love showing this picture because the woman in the red coat that you see here, her name is Anita von Homburg, but she's also known as Princess Anita von Homburg. And she's actually a direct descendant of Maria Theresa and Franz Ferdinand. And so you go to her home, this legendary, beautiful palace, and you're walking up and it's just her. She's like, hello, welcome, come into my home. And you're like, okay, I thought this was a princess. She's very warm and she's so kind and welcoming. And you think, oh, I'm going to meet a princess today. But you realize that these are just normal people who have these distinguished titles. And I just think it's so fantastic. We come in, she has a sparkling wine reception for us. So everybody grabs a glass of champagne, walks around, gets to see the beautiful pictures and architecture of her home. And all the while, Princess Anita is showing you around and she's telling you about her family. And who better to learn about European history than somebody whose family was directly involved in European history? Right. History buffs will absolutely go crazy for this. This is the coolest experience. But, we have all kinds of interesting people that we meet along the way. It doesn't always have to be a princess per se. We have Hall of Famers here in the US that we meet, legendary Hall of Famers, musicians. We have Olympians that we get to meet as well. Just the most epic, legendary people for their respective places. And it just really brings that destination to life. So, when you're looking at a luxury gold journey, you might see Chairman's Collection or you might see CC as on an itinerary. And that means that there's an experience there that is, spectacular that you got to go and check out. So, when you're looking at those, definitely keep your eye open for it because they are just spectacular. But as much as we love all the experiences that we get to see, we also love dining. I know I travel to dine. I don't know about you, Cindy. Do you like to eat when you travel?
I like to eat when I travel, and I like to travel and eat. I'm all about it. The wines, the local foods, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I think that's one of the best parts about traveling is getting to try the local restaurants, trying to get to experience all the local flair. And with Luxury Gold, this was one of the number one things that when I was traveling with other people, that they said that they were so impressed with was the culinary experiences and the diversity of experiences that we had to offer. Because with us, we will take you to just incredible, exceptional restaurants. And we think that eating is an extension of an experience. It's, you can go to any restaurant and have a nice meal, but to go to one that you go, wow, that was something really, really cool, is totally different, right? Totally different. And so with Luxury Gold, we're going to take you to the best of the best restaurants. This photo that you see here is actually an image of one of the restaurants that we include with our vacations, where we go to 1135 AD. That's the name of the restaurant. And this is in Jaipur, India, where Condé Nast magazine rated this one of the top 50 restaurants in all of India. And so you could imagine, India has just a couple restaurants to choose from, I think, but to be able to get to go to one of the top restaurants in the entire country and have an included meal there is definitely going to be an experience. You can see even the servers, the waiters are all dressed in traditional wares as well, down to the settings, the lighting, the chairs, just everything is so unique. It really is something special, but we have the whole gamut. It's not all fancy restaurants. We have beautiful places that we take you to where you're going to have, a highlight dinner is what we like to call it. On all of our European journeys, we go to at least one Michelin starred restaurant. So that is standard for all of our European itineraries, but around the world, we are going to be going to critically acclaimed restaurants, Zagat rated restaurants, Michelin starred dining. It really, raises the bar on elevated dining because, we know our guests love that and they want to try these unique flavors of the destination that they're going to. But it's all not hoity-toity fancy pants restaurants all the time. One of my favorite things that we do at Luxury Gold is cooking classes. And so do you like cooking classes?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and cooking classes are just fun. Even if you love to cook or you don't you don't know how to cook at all, it can really be a fun thing to do for everybody because you get an apron, you roll up your sleeves, and you try your hand at it, and it's so fun because most times you're not going to be doing this at home, So this is a great example. When we're in Japan, we actually are going to have an authentic sushi making class, which is always really fun. My husband's always wanted to do this, and I think it's so kind of unique. But we actually are going to be doing this alongside a master chef, and this is something that's just a fun afternoon. It's a part of a lunch experience that we have where everybody gets all the ingredients, and the master chef is showing us this. And I think in Japan, more than anywhere around the world, that this is just so cool because Japan is so disciplined when it comes to, dining and culinary. They'll spend their entire careers perfecting the art of rice or the art of, noodle making or whatever it is, sake making, sake brewers. So this is, you're being shown how to make sushi by the best of the best. So it's just so fun. But we have all kinds of types of cooking classes. We have an Italian cooking class, which is really cool. We have an awesome cooking class in India as well. So just some really interesting things. But we also go and do street market food tastings, kind of like a food hopping kind of experience, which is always fun. And you're always led by chefs, or you're led by foodies or culinary experts in that respective city. So it's just so much fun. When you're traveling with Luxury Gold that you're going to have the best meals ever that you can have in that destination. And like I said, when I went on my Luxury Gold journey recently, that's what everyone said. They were like, oh my gosh, this just keeps getting better and better. So, I loved it when I got the chance to, eat my way. I went to Peru and eat my way through Peru. And I had been there before, but Luxury Gold showed me some restaurants, and we did pisco sour making classes. So we had, our hand at making some really fun local drinks, and it was just fantastic. So I can't say enough good things about the exceptional dining that we have at Luxury Gold. But it all can't be done without our expert team. So when you're traveling with us as well, we have what we call a traveling concierge. We don't call them tour guides. We don't call them travel directors or anything like that, because when you're traveling with Luxury Gold, the elevated level of service that you're going to get really is comparable to a concierge level. This is somebody who's with you from day one to the very end, who's going to tailor everything for you. So if you have a request, you remember, no request too large, no detail too small. The traveling concierge will be able to answer all of your questions. And I loved this because there was a quote in one of our magazines this past year from a traveling concierge who said, if you had the chance to travel with a local person who knew the language, who knew all the best places to go to, who knew the hidden gems, and could show you something that only locals could, wouldn't you want to do that? And I thought, well, Of course, it's a no-brainer, right? And whether you're in, the US or you're traveling internationally, it's always nice when you have a local person who could show you around. I'm sure, when you visit family and friends, Cindy, back, wherever around the US, it's totally different than going there on your own, right?
Oh God, absolutely. You need somebody to show you the good places, the fun places.
Yeah, and it's so much different than, because I'm sure you can find some great restaurants and all of that on your own by, hours of research on Yelp or Photos or, Lonely Planet, and your nose is in a book the whole time trying to find it, or you're on whatever website trying to find the best of the best. But it's hours of research, and then you might not necessarily be able to get into that place just because,
Exactly.
it's closed on a certain day or tickets are unavailable. That doesn't happen for us. We have all of that arranged in advance. So we can do that and we can show our guests that. And you just tell our traveling concierge what you're interested in doing, what you want to do, and they'll arrange that for you. They'll get tickets purchased for you, they'll arrange transport for you, whatever that you need. They're there for you. So you don't have to do all of that heavy lifting. You can just sit back and relax, and they'll show you all the best places and give great recommendations. But when you want to do something and you want to do something unique, you just tell them and they'll make it happen for you. So it's all about that balance, right? Of included experiences while tailoring it to what you want to do. And that's what you get when you travel with a more elevated guided brand like Luxury Gold, is you get to have that opportunity because you travel with other people. That's most likely not going to be the case where this is the program, this is what we're doing today, and there's no other options. But not with Luxury Gold. We really like to tailor it to what our guests are interested in doing. And it's possible too because of our small groups. With Luxury Gold, we absolutely have those small group departures to choose from. So if you are looking at any of our destinations, especially into the exotics, we have these small groups of 24 or less. And so you're really traveling in a small bubble of people where, you can get to know the people that you're traveling with. And I think now, again, kind of going back to what we talked about with the after hours experiences in the world post-COVID, if that ever exists,
Yeah.
I think that that's going to be really important too. A lot of folks don't want to be in big group settings. And I think that this is going to be really important for a lot of travelers, that when you're going with a company that it's a small, intimate amount of people that you're traveling with, it's not a huge number. And it just allows you to enjoy a little bit more. You get more time and attention by your concierge. You're able to get in and out of places quicker, restaurants, activities, those types of things. So it's also a practical as well. It's a time saver when you don't have this 60-person group all, stepping off a motor coach and all that kind of thing. When there's only, 20 of you, it really makes a big difference, getting in and out of places, or even smaller than that in some places that we travel to. So really nice small group journeys that you can expect with us as well. And one of my favorite things to talk about is the hotels. Because we have the best of the best hotels when you travel with Luxury Gold as well. So no matter where you stay, you're going to have impeccable service, the luxury surroundings, and you can just soak up and unwind wherever you're at. So if you're in the countryside, you're going to have the most spectacular countryside hotel. If you're in a big city, you're going to be in the heart of the city, where walking distance from all of the major attractions. But just a couple examples of some of the hotels that we use. Of course, we're going to use some of our sister brand. Part of the Travel Corporation is a boutique hotel company called Red Carnation Hotels, which what we're going to talk about probably in the next month or two.
Right.
And Red Carnation Hotels are boutique properties. They're absolutely spectacular. You're looking at a picture of Ashford Castle. This is in Ireland, where it's one of the most renowned of our Red Carnation hotels. And we do stay here for 2 nights. And so this is something absolutely spectacular. And I love it because there's 30 different activities that you can do on the property. There's golfing, there's falconry, there's, fishing, there's so many things. The list goes on and on. If you don't want to just go for a walk, or they have stunning gardens that they also have. You could take advantage of the spa amenities. The list goes on about all of the incredible things that you can do at Ashford. But we also stay at other hotels in the Red Carnation portfolio. So the Rubens Hotel in London, I've stayed there before. It's literally walking distance. It's across the street from Buckingham Palace. You see the guards lined up in the mornings when you step out of the hotel. It's incredible. But we stay at the Rubens, the Hotel d'Angleterre in Geneva, Switzerland, the 12 Apostles down in South Africa. It's just incredible, award-winning hotels. All of the ones that I mentioned have award-winning properties. So really spectacular, but they are boutique and they're not everywhere around the world. So of course we have to rely on other properties too. So we have other wonderful hotels that you might have heard of, places like the Belmonts, the Ritz-Carltons, the Four Seasons, JW Marriott's, the Fairmont hotels. So we'll have, the larger hotel chains, we'll have the resorts as well. But they can also just be smaller boutique properties, but we look for the best hotels in the places that we're going to for our guests. It makes the most sense for what our guests are looking for and what they want to be close to. But we always know that no matter where we stay, that you'll have time to just relax, take in the amenities of the hotel, which is so important. When you're staying at a 5-star hotel, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that 5-star hotel, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm staying at a hotel that has like an award-winning spa, you better believe I'm going to go, grab a massage for a couple hours and just relax, right? So yeah, we have the best of the best hotel properties as well with Luxury Gold. And we get around various different ways too. And, kind of going back to what we were saying about the small group, when you don't have a 60-person group that you're traveling with, it really opens up the form of transportation. I think with guided, a lot of folks think, oh, it's the 1980s, 1990s, thought of what a tour could be, where you're on and off the motor coach or a bus, as a lot of people like to call it.
Right.
But that's not the case with Luxury Gold. We have planes, trains, and automobiles, I like to say, especially on my journey when I was in Peru. I mean, I think I took every form of transportation that is possible, because not everywhere you're going to is going to be able to accommodate, or rather, we're not going to want to drive from one city to the next. We'll take a plane, or we might need to take a water taxi if you're in Venice. We stay at some incredible properties and that might require us to take a train to get there, or take a water taxi or a safari vehicle. So it's really kind of cool, because we mix up the form of transportation that our guests can use, but it's always the most appropriate. It's always the best. So when you have a small group, it allows you that flexibility to mix up the transport and have a little bit more fun, rather than just traveling on a motor coach the whole time. So it's really fantastic to know that you're always going to be in the most comfort when you're traveling with us. And last but not least, I just wanted to give a shout out to our sister company. I guess it's not even a sister brand. It's our nonprofit organization at the Travel Corporation. It's the Tread Right Foundation. And TTC's Tread Right Foundation is all about traveling with a purpose. And I think that is even more important now more than ever, that, folks can feel like they can give back to communities. And, luxury travel isn't all about the bells and whistles. Sometimes it's about getting and doing, giving back to the communities that they're traveling to, and paying their respects to these wonderful communities that they're visiting. So we like to say we like to make travel matter at the Tread Right Foundation, and it is something we're very proud about. We're going on 13 years with supporting projects all around the world, and they're all sustainability projects. And we have 3 pillars that we stand on. It's people, the planet, and wildlife. So we are all about making sure that we're preserving these wonderful places that we're traveling to with Luxury Gold and with all of our TTC brands for generations to come. And I love just to show this because we've partnered with an organization called One Tree Planted. And we have some incredible statistics to share with guests that with One Tree Planted in 2019 alone, we planted over 350 acres of trees in Northern California, Tanzania, and Vietnam as reforestation efforts. And we couldn't have done it without our guests, because when you travel with Luxury Gold, you can opt to have electronic documents. Everybody has smartphones these days anyways. You know, my almost 70-year-old father has a smartphone and can pull up email and all of that on it. And I think that that's something everybody these days is using anyways. So why not, you know, really utilize it to its fullest potential? And we have electronic documents. And when you select e-documents, that we will plant a tree in your name. And so we have places all around, like I said, the world that we've been planting trees. But we've had over 770 trees saved, and definitely more since 2019. So that's just something, one statistic that we can share with guests. You know, we have a wonderful organization, though, with the Tread Right Foundation. So if anybody is interested in learning more, they can go to treadright.org and they can see all kinds of great projects and programs that we support, whether it's people, local communities, planet like this here, or wildlife, where we're supporting different programs across the world that support animal conservation. South Africa is where our founders came from. So they're very, very into saving the rhinos in Africa. And so elephants in Africa, the rhinos in Africa, there's all kinds of amazing programs that they have there. So I just have to give a little shout out to them, because they really do influence what we do at Luxury Gold, because it's at the heart of everything that we do at Luxury Gold, is making sure that we're taking care of the places that we're taking guests to. So it's really important. But now I just wanted to share with you all a couple of our most popular trips to choose from. So we like to say we'll show you the world, and that we have over 50 immersive journeys all over to choose from. So with Luxury Gold, it's our worldwide collection. So we travel to not only North America and Europe, but we also travel all throughout South America, Africa, India. We also are going to be traveling down to Australia, New Zealand, and all throughout Asia. So we have some really cool journeys that I have to share with you. So the first one, and our most popular one without a doubt, is our Ultimate Italy. So Ultimate Italy is our 12-day journey that is just absolutely magnificent. It is going to show you the best of Italy, right? The grand past, the romantic cities, the incredible natural wonders. And you'll get to see places like the Sistine Chapel, of course, the Doge's Palace in Venice. I love this one because this is another one where we do it after hours. So guests are getting to see the Doge's Palace after hours, not with all the crowds. And that is something really, really, really cool that our travelers absolutely love. But we also have Michelin-starred restaurants here and down in Capri with Ristorante Mama. This one is a really cool lunch experience where we are literally right there on the cliffs of the ocean. So you see the beautiful ocean in the background, and it's a Michelin-starred restaurant that you have for lunch. Like, this is incredible. It's a pinch me moment. It's like everybody has to take pictures of the restaurant before, you know, they actually sit down, because it's so picturesque and beautiful. But we also have the cooking class that I talked to you about earlier. This is in Tuscany. So there's just so many incredible experiences. And one of my favorites is actually in Venice. We actually stay at the Palazzo by St. Mark's Square. So you're literally walking distance from St. Mark's Square. You are literally basically in St. Mark's Square. It's just the most incredible views of the city. So this is a 12-day journey that really goes from the south all the way up to the north. So you get a really good, diverse experience of what Italy has to offer. And if you want as well, we partner with the Venice Simplon Orient Express, which is one of the most gorgeous trains that you could possibly ever. It's a bucket list train. It's like what train travel was meant to be back in the 1920s, right? In the glory days. And this is something where you can add on from Venice all the way up to Paris for a 4-day journey on the Venice Simplon Orient Express. So it's really, really fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, sign me up, please.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready. Let's
I know
do it.
I haven't been to Italy in gosh, it's been about 6 years. No, 4 years. And I'm like, I need to go back. I needed my Italian pasta and gelato fix.
Definitely.
You can never have too much gelato, I find. And you walk around so much, it doesn't matter. Calories don't count when you're on vacation.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
But if you are somebody who loves the outdoors, this is a really, really fantastic option to choose from too. This is closer to home. This is in Western Canada. This is the Majesty of the Rockies. It's a 14-day journey where it travels all throughout the Canadian Rockies. And I love this one because we do stay at all the beautiful Fairmont properties here on this particular journey too. And it's all about the national parks. It's all about getting out into the beautiful nature. Of course, we're going to be going into the big cities when we're in Vancouver, of course, but you're also going to be seeing gorgeous, stunning places like Lake Louise, Banff. We're going to be going into Whistler. So, so many gorgeous, gorgeous cities to choose from along here. And not only, are you going to get to see some incredible places, but you're going to get to meet a lot of incredible people. We have a First Nations people. They're not called Native Americans in Canada. They're called First Nations. So First Nations people, where we actually participate in a tea workshop to better understand the traditions of the First Nation people and their connection to tea making, which is really kind of fun. So also just a delicious afternoon. But we also are going to get an opportunity to meet interesting people. This is one where we have a chairman's collection as well, where we are going to meet an Olympic skier named Rob Boyd. So really kind of fun people along the way that you're going to get to meet, but it's also customizable because if you wanted to extend your trip, you have the option to add 2 days on for the Calgary Stampede. Or if you wanted to do the 2-day Rocky Mountaineer train journey, you could also sign up to do that too for 2 days on the Rocky Mountaineer train. We partner with them. Or if you want to make it even longer, you could do a 21-day journey where you could add on 7 days for an Alaska cruise with our partners over at Holland America. So Holland America is a wonderful cruise company, and I'm sure you've sold them a ton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're great. They're absolutely fabulous. And so our guests have the opportunity to add on a 7-day Alaska cruise on that as well. So it's kind of fun. You can play around with this. If you just want the land portion, great. If you want to do the train, awesome. Stampede, okay. If you want to do the train or the cruise, you could do that too. So it's kind of fun. You can mix and match what you want to do on this particular trip.
Yeah, that's nice. That's awesome.
And it's the Canadian Rockies. It's like the most gorgeous place in the world.
It is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. And then my favorite, I had to finish the last two with my two favorite journeys. This one's all about Peru. So this is our Treasures of the Incas. This is a 12-day journey, and it is one of the most spectacular trips, if not the most spectacular trip I've ever taken. And I just have to say, kudos to the team because they deliver such an incredible job here. I absolutely love it. We're going to see Lima. We're going to see, of course, Machu Picchu, but we're also going to see the Sacred Valley. We're going to see Cusco. And one of my favorite places actually is Lake Titicaca. It's in Puno. It's up in the highlands. And so getting to meet the people of the floating islands was just so spectacular. It was incredible getting to meet the local people. But I can just say that Peru, people go to Peru for Machu Picchu, right? They want to see the iconic, ancient city of Machu Picchu. But on this particular trip, people are just blown away by not only the food that they can experience. No, I think the number one thing everyone said was, I had no idea Peruvian food was so good. And it's true because, we go to so many incredible restaurants. They're really having a modernization kind of revolution in Peru with their culinary scene. So it's definitely a hotspot for foodies. I've actually seen different documentaries with all about the Peruvian food scene. And so it is something really spectacular, but also the people here are just so welcoming and warm and inviting. It's just fantastic. And this particular trip itself is chock full of beautiful sights. You're going to be down at the coast when you're in Lima. You're going to be up in the highlands and the mountain communities when you're in Lake Titicaca and Cusco. And then you transfer over to the Sacred Valley and to Machu Picchu, where it's all jungle, it's all lush and green, and it's mountainous still, but the landscapes just transform every couple days, and it just blows you away at the beauty that is Peru. And it's just so fantastic to see the more modern side of it as well as the more traditional side. It's my favorite. So if you ever had Machu Picchu on your bucket list, you gotta go now. Oh yeah.
That's totally at the very top of mine.
Oh yeah, you will love it. And a lot of folks always have that question about altitude. I hear it's really high. Is it, how many days do you need? I love this journey because you actually kind of make your way to Machu Picchu. Your body naturally acclimates to
Right.
the altitude. My first trip to Peru that I've taken, because I've been there twice now, I went from sea level to almost one day we passed over a mountain range that was over 16,000 feet. And so by the time we got to Machu Picchu, we're like, oh, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 feet. We got this. This is not a big deal. We were totally acclimated. But with my luxury gold journey, this was something that we slowly got, acclimated to, and it was perfect. So we really felt, great and ready to go by the time we got to Machu Picchu because, our bodies were used to the altitude at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So last but not least, I have to share our Elegance of the Pharaohs. So we actually have 3 journeys to choose from with Luxury Gold in Egypt. And it is and I'm looking here and I'm seeing that this is a totally
I was
different
like, I
map.
didn't know Cartagena was in
Yeah,
Egypt.
I'm like, wait a second, this is Colombia. I apologize. I will just say this is not the right map, of obviously, but we do have some spectacular journeys to Egypt. And Egypt is one of those places where you have to go if you've ever had an inkling to see it. Because this picture that you see here on the left-hand side is 100% what you get to do. You get into these ruins, into these tombs, and it's like time has never passed. The hieroglyphics on the walls are still perfectly intact. They're still in full color, and you can get a foot away from them and you're going, oh my gosh, this is thousands of years old, and it looks like it was just discovered yesterday. And it is one of the most incredible places I've ever been to because of the history of all of the amazing places that you get to see. We have all of our itineraries visit, of course, Cairo and Giza, where we actually stay at the Mena House in Giza, which is 5 minutes from the pyramids. All of our rooms have pyramid view rooms. So you walk out on your balcony and you see the ancient pyramids right there in your own backyard.
Wow.
And it's just something so spectacular. And then we sail down the Nile, which I'm reading right now, Agatha Christie. And Agatha Christie, of course, is, well known in Egypt. We stay at this incredible hotel called, it's a Sofitel property now, but it's called the Old Cataract Hotel. And it's really spectacular because while we're sailing down the Nile, we actually are staying on our Uniworld River cruise ship, our sister brand, the River Tosca, which every room is a suite. So it's absolutely gorgeous. But we sacrificed one night off of the River Tosca for this incredible property, the Old Cataract Hotel, where it is 1920s, everything, the architecture. You have high tea out on the terrace overlooking the Nile, and all they're called feluccas, the traditional sailboats floating by. It's just so stinking cool. And you just are going, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And Agatha Christie was like one of their most popular guests who stayed there. And she wrote so many of her books. The Death on the Nile was written at this hotel, and so many amazing characters and historians and people that we've always heard about have stayed here at this legendary hotel. So it's really cool. But I mean, this particular trip is just incredible. You get to go to the Valley of the Kings where the pharaohs were buried, and you get to go to their tombs. I got to see King Tut's body in King Tut's tomb, which
Oh, man.
like I saw his mummy inside his tomb. It was just one of those things where I was like, is this real life? Is this real? It
Yeah.
was just so cool. And there's so many amazing people that you meet along the way. Egyptians are so warm and welcoming. And it's just incredible that you get the opportunity to do this. And going back to one of our first kind of slides was the Luxor Temple, right? You get to go to Luxor after hours on this trip too. So just chock full of really fantastic experiences. So ignore the map here. Talk to Cindy about the different Egypt itineraries, because like I said, I have 3 different journeys to choose from. So we have plenty of options depending on how long you want to go and what you want to do. But this particular new journey, the Elegance of the Pharaohs, is a 10-day, which is perfect amount of time. So with that all being said, I just wanted to say that, your journey beyond the ordinary awaits. Luxury Gold is here to take care of you. We want to show you the world and just show you the best of every place that you've ever wanted to travel to, and really get you to see a different side of the country that you never thought you would be able to see. So that's a little bit about Luxury Gold.
I would love to go on a luxury gold vacation. I look at it so many times for my clients, and I just think, now where could I go on this? Peru would be my number one. I am so dying to go to Machu Picchu.
Oh yeah, it is one of those places that I tell everybody, if you've ever had a thought to go there, you got to go now. And it's just so incredible getting to hike the ruins. You can also take some of the other trails. Like I hiked up to the Sun Gate. So for people who actually hike the Inca Trail, you come from the Sun Gate and descend down into the valley. But since we don't hike the Inca Trail, we go and just visit the ruins itself. We actually spend 2 nights there too, Cindy, which is a huge deal because most companies only do 1. And let me tell you, it takes planes, trains, and automobiles to get to Machu Picchu because it's not an accessible place to get to easily. And so, most companies you'll get up at the crack of dawn and you get on the train, you get on your coach and you drive and you take the train, you get there. And then that evening you go to see the ruins. And then the next morning you leave. And so we said, that's not going to do. We need more time. And so we actually stay You know, we get there, we enjoy our evening. The city of Aguas Calientes at the base of Machu Picchu is so beautiful, and there's all kinds of markets to walk around. So we just decompress, we have a great day, and then the next morning we have the full day to go explore Machu Picchu. And then we spend a second night there, and the next morning we end up leaving. So we have plenty of time to get to walk the ruins, hike the ruins, whatever your speed is, you can go and explore. So it really does make a big difference, I think.
It definitely sounds like it, because anything else that I've looked into, you're right. It's one night and
You're in and you're out.
you're in it. Yeah, right. You're in and you're out. And it would be so nice to be able to get up in the morning, go enjoy, relax in the evening, and then leave.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
And not to mention, we stay at the Inca Terra Resort, and the Inca Terra Resort is a 5-star eco lodge. And it is like you are immersed in the jungle. I at night was hearing the streams going by. So you hear the water running outside your window. In the morning, you wake up to the birds singing, and it's oh my gosh, just the most incredible place ever. Everybody kept going, can we just stay here for the rest of the trip? I don't want to leave.
Right. Oh my gosh. Sounds awesome. Well,
So
I
mean,
have to
that's
make
just
my
one-
bucket trip happen.
Yeah. And especially now, you know, in 2020, we didn't get to go very many places, maybe your backyard or
That's about
you
it.
know,
And that wasn't that far.
yeah, exactly. You got to go to the kitchen, to the living room, to the backyard, you know, so
Right.
why not take an epic trip in 2021 or 2022? You know,
Right.
we have some incredible promotions happening right now for 21. If you are interested in traveling in the second half of the year, absolutely come talk to us. We have right now going on a deal where you can save up to $700 per person on 2021 journeys, but 2022 is fully available right now. So if you'd
Perfect.
prefer to travel next year, we have some great deals going on for next year as well. So a lot of great incentives for guests to come over and check out what we've got to offer, because you know it's only a deposit you need to secure your spot with Luxury Gold. It's
Right.
$200, and if you decide to change the date or you decide to change your mind on which trip you want to do, no problem. We'll just move the deposit over. So no harm, no foul, and it's really great. And your deposit is available for 5 years once you put it down. So if you decide to put it down for 2021, you change your mind, that deposit's still on account for 4 more years. So you can, you know, decide to travel in 22, or if you want to wait and travel in 2023, you can, and you can just move that deposit over. So that's the beauty of traveling with the travel corporations. We have so many flexible policies for our guests as far as when they want to travel and which trip they want to do. So just a couple of things to point out there.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you wouldn't get that off an OTA, would you?
No, you would not.
No, you would not. Not in the least. So this was also awesome, Caitlin. I loved every second of it. It was great. And I can't wait till our next little chat with you. It may be a little while, but
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to be having my baby soon, so it's going to be one of my colleagues. But when I'm back, I'm going to be so excited to be sharing with you a little bit more, Cindy. I just want to say thank you to everybody for listening today. And if you have questions, please contact Cindy. She knows all about our different brands. So definitely with Luxury Gold, we want to take you on a trip. So come over and check us out.
Exactly. I agree. Well, good luck to you. I can't wait to talk to you after the fact and see how your baby is and hear all the news about that. So in the meantime, again, like I said, good luck and have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye, Caitlin.
Bye-bye.